Alright, thank you very much for clicking on the video. This is Gulpain, and this is just going to be a very quick review of Lord of Arcana for PSP. And this one was developed by Access Games and published by Square Enix, and it was released in 2010 for the old PSP. So this is quite a late release as well for the PSP, considering some of the games came out like a little bit earlier than this. So the graphics in this are quite nice, which kind of indicates that it is a later release. So this is like a dungeon crawler game, but it has quite a lot of like spectacular kind of cinematic kills when you destroy the enemies. So it is quite a good game. I didn't really stick with it that long though. I played a little bit of it, but it didn't really hold my interest that much because the story wasn't there for me. The graphics are good and the gameplay is okay, but I don't know, it's too restrictive in the way sort of the gameplay is. Like, you can only really go like one or two ways. It's not very, like, I know these games, these dungeon crawler games, they're not like open, they're not like open world. You can't just go anywhere in the dungeon. You have to go from one section to the next section, but it was just kind of too restrictive. I think this is sort of this style of game, while it looks really up to date and the graphics are really nice, the style of it is like just outdated, I think. For myself anyway, I prefer the old a bit more open world than this game is presenting. So you can do your character, you can customize your character at the very start with a few different like hairstyles and kind of looks and like basic elements. It's not a very in-depth customization, because you are looking at the character at all times, because the character is always in front of you. So it's nice to have a bit of customization in these sort of games, because normally you start off with like just kind of generic character, but this one you can you can make it your own. So obviously I made it with red hair, which is what I don't have, but yeah, this game has a lot of potential, I think. If they put as much effort into the visuals as they did the gameplay, I think this game will be a lot better. There are a lot of gameplay elements to kind of to talk about or to incorporate in the game. You can melee attack. Well, it's really more for like kind of opening chests and stuff in the main sort of part of the game. But then you get, just like a traditional kind of RPG, you when you encounter an enemy, you go to like a different arena or a different area, and then you come back to the normal area then. It's very common in turn-based RPGs, but also action RPGs are starting to do it as well. A lot of the Tales games do it, where it's kind of, I don't know why you have to go to a different area when you encounter an enemy. Well, you don't go to a different area, just like it's a different screen. You have like the battle screen, and you can you're restricted in a sense where you can only go within like a few meters or a few couple dozen feet of your character in relative terms to the game, and then you go back then to the normal area, and then obviously when when you get attacked, then you go to a battle area again. So it's kind of strange that way. I don't know why they just didn't, why don't you just stay in the one area? But I don't know. I guess it's more like that's the way RPGs are. Like with random encounters, you don't fight the enemy there and then, you go to a different screen. So I think they sort of kept that kind of gameplay mechanic in a lot of these games. As I said before, it's common in the Tales games and a few other games actually that I can remember now. The Ease games do it as well. So you don't actually fight the enemies in an area, you fight them like in a different area. Actually no, Ease does. Sorry, Ease is similar to this game, but you don't go to a different area to fight the enemies. I just finished the one for the PS Vita. I just finished the Ease game, the not Wanderers, not Oath and Felgana, it's another one. I can't remember what it is now, but yeah, it's very similar to, it looks like this, but you don't actually go to a different area to fight an enemy. You stay in the same area. I think I made that point clear there. So according to my research I mean Wikipedia. Yeah, so this one pretty good. You can use summon attacks later on as well, where you can summon like certain monsters. You can use magic and you can use melee attacks, and I don't know, every time I encountered an enemy I seemed to finish them the exact same way. So I finished them with like a stylistic kill, but it would seem to be the same one. So hopefully later on you can get different ones, so that you're not kind of killing the same enemy over and over again with the same stylish kill. Although it is pretty cool the way you do it. So yeah, nice graphics. The sound is nice as well, but I don't know, it's just for me the gameplay is a bit old fashioned. and sort of like it's not like if I'm going into if you're doing like a dungeon game like this, I think there should be like some sort of interaction with like some sort of story to keep you going. Otherwise the pacing is kind of off. All you're doing is kind of going to one corridor, fighting whatever the guardian is, opening the door, and then go to another corridor. So it's not really, I don't know, maybe it's just the start of the game. It's not really in depth. So anyway, that is Lord of Arcana. If you've played Lord of Arcana and you love it and you want to disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. Just let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Adios.